ትብብራችሁ የተቃና እንዲሆን በራሴ በፓርቲያችንና በመንግስት ምክር ቤት ልባዊ ምኞቴን እገልጻለሁ። አመሰግናለሁ።
I led a civil revolt in Liberia as leader of the MPFL for 7 years. There are no incidents in Liberia of any cutting off of limbs in Liberia throughout the 7 years of the Liberian Civil War. And I led the largest rebel faction. Following the war, I was elected by 85% of the population. What does that tell you? It tells you that I conducted myself in line with international law.
Mr. President, there are facts, reports of maiming, hacking of limbs, raping women, and killing children. If you're not responsible, who is responsible?
Well, look, let's look at wars across Africa. If we look at wars across Africa, there have been reasons. There have been countries that have invaded other countries, occupied them for some time. Their troops have left on the African continent. Things happen in those countries. In my case, there were no Liberian troops that went across the border. Charles Taylor, as president of Liberia, wants to be held accountable for anything that I did to the Liberian people. And I would not hesitate a second to return to Liberia to answer any question in Liberia about torture, murder, anything in my country, because I did not do it. I have no fears about returning to Liberia. And what ECOWAS and the AU are doing, they are not shielding me from my people. Some Nigerians have been concerned about my being there. Can you imagine in Nigeria where a Nigerian, maybe a former leader or official of government, that your country is not pursuing? A resolution is drafted at the United Nations that's saying that Victor Owusu here must be, his assets must be frozen. This must happen to him, and that must happen to him against the wishes of the Nigerian government, the Nigerian legal system, and the people. It's crazy. It's wrong, and I think that we ought to be very careful, because this move, it's globalization, the one world government, this could be the beginning, and Liberia is a test.
Many other Nigerians are very angry about your stay in Nigeria, and this has to do with the 2 Nigerian journalists that were killed in the war in Liberia while you were president. Did you kill them?
2 Nigerian journalists were killed by a colonel of the then MPFL by the name of Putu Major. Putu Major was arrested. He was court-martialed, tried, and executed for the killing of those 2 journalists. The MPFL then, I dispatched my information officer here to Nigeria, met with the families of the 2 journalists, explained the issue, offered them a small envelope in consolidation with them. They refused it. The killing of those journalists were wrong. I did not accept it, and I took action. Those 2 journalists that were killed caused the execution of Colonel Putu Major. You go to Liberia now and ask anyone, they will tell you Putu Major was executed by the MPFL under my command.
Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I am here for only one reason, to see whether in a talk we can explore, or you can help me to see what the paths to peace may be. It is my only reason, because I remember the war. I lost a brother. I never want to see another war. And there are millions of people all over the world who do not want a war. And by agreeing to this interview, which is very historic for all of us, I hope you will be able to help me. Well, I hope you will be able to say something to the world that will be significant and positive.
أولا أهلا وسهلا في بغداد. أنتم خير من يعرف
Welcome to Baghdad.
الدور الذي
You are conscious of the role that Iraqis have set out for themselves, inspired by their own culture, their civilization, and their role in human history.
وحضارتهم ودورهم الإنساني. وأن مثل هذا الدور
This role requires peace in order to prosper and progress.
يزدهر ويثمر ينبغي أن يكون في ظروف سلام. وعلى هذا الأساس
Having said that,
ومثلما يتمسك العراقيون بحقوق
the Iraqis are committed to their rights as much as they are committed to the rights of others.
من غير سلام
Without peace,
ستعترضهم عقبات
they will be faced with many obstacles that would stop them from fulfilling their human role.
الحضاري الإنساني الإيماني.
Mr. President, may I ask you some questions? The first question is, does Iraq possess weapons of mass destruction?
المسؤولين العراقيين عبر 34 عام. مسؤولين العراقيين
Most Iraqi officials have been in power for over 34 years and have experience of dealing with the outside world.
ولهم تعاملات مع العالم على نطاق واسع. لذلك المنصف يعرف بأن
Every fair-minded person knows that when Iraqi officials say something, they are trustworthy.
وقبل قليل عندما
A few minutes ago, when you asked me if I wanted to look at the questions beforehand, I told you I didn't feel the need, so that we don't waste time. And I gave you the freedom to ask me any question directly, so that my reply would be direct. This is an opportunity to reach the British people and the forces of peace in the world. There is only one truth, and therefore I tell you, as I have said on many occasions before, that Iraq has no weapons of mass destruction whatsoever. We challenge anyone who claims that we have to bring forward any evidence and present it to public opinion.
A través de aquellos órganos naturales que, como la familia, el municipio, la asociación y la corporación, harán cristalizar en realidades nuestro ideal supremo.
américains en Haïti et d'aider à maintenir Duvalier au pouvoir.
There is no danger because everything is under control under my leadership. In order to stop any invasion, I have an outstanding police outside of this country. I know everything in Europe, in the USA, in the Latin American countries. But I do not have enough money to pay to the members of the secret police.
C'est parce qu'il a demandé des prêts pour le travail révolutionnaire de Papadoc que l'ambassadeur américain est devenu ma coupe d'honneur.
The meeting is non-confidential because I think that is why you see here there is a press people they are taking and they want to make a film about the cabinet. But I have about 7 points which I think I should brief you completely and tell you to know exactly what is going on. One is this. All of you, you are in very high-ranking governmental positions. Your duty is not to be very weak. You must not be like a woman who is just weak and he can't speak, even talk. You must be a person who to approach everybody as a minister. You wanted to know, you must be concerned to know the problems as a minister, as a governor, as any high-ranking governmental officer. This is the one point which I must tell you. You must be concerned in planning ahead for your ministry. Nobody is to plan for you, but it is you with your permanent secretary and the whole officer under your command to plan for you, for your minister in advance. Not general mean to tell you that you go and plan this and this for your ministry. You should not be like a Ministry of Foreign Affairs I'm speaking, not even now when Tiang was there, because some people who are rotten, they are there since Tiang was there and also is there. These people I never been informed since the former regimes. What they know is to educate people in a common man's charter only, but not proper educating people of the world's, the policy of the government, because this I know direct from international people whom I've been sending. They have been informing me that people have been not educated outside to know what actually is happening here in Uganda. And this is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is the weakness of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
2 weeks later, the body of Michael Ondoga, Minister of Foreign Affairs, was found in the Nile. He was replaced by a former model, Princess Begaya, who holds a law degree from Oxford.
And everybody must be removed who have got the ideology or and everything in the shop. If you go to Ghana, if you go to Nigeria, you will see that the whole shops, market, everything is in Nigeria. I think you agree with me. Everybody agree. Why not here in Uganda? You must tell our women. I said that the duty of the woman is the housewoman. He knows how to keep house very well. If he can do that, let me make first examinations, appoint women to be the managers of hotel, which is done. Because this is a part of the women's job. If they can keep house very well, it is exactly like their duty as a housewife.
Benn ដើម្បីសម្រាប់ប្រជាជនសម្រាប់ជាតិទេឥឡូវក៏ដោយលោកមើលខ្ញុំជាមនុស្សកាចសាហាវគូខើឬក៏យ៉ាងម៉េចអត់ទេដូច្នេះជាសតិសម្បជញ្ញៈជាទិសដៅអត់មានបញ្ហានេះទេបែកចែកឲ្យច្បាស់បញ្ហា
April the 15th, 1998. Press agencies around the world reported the death of Pol Pot, close to the Thai border. Few people chose to believe that this was true. 1 year before, news of his death had circulated several times, the Khmer Rouge had always been experts in secrecy and manipulation. To prove that this corpse was indeed Pol Pot, Thai forensic experts were authorized to examine the teeth, remove samples of skin and hair, and take a fingerprint.
glaube, dass dieser 31. Juli ein solcher Tag ist, an dem eingeleitet werden kann, diese neue deutsche Volksgemeinschaft. Ein Tag, der eine klare und eindeutige Entscheidung fordert. Es ist in meinen Augen nicht möglich, dass an einer solchen historischen Wende der Einzelne einen halben Entschluss trifft. Ich bitte und ich bitte Sie um gar nichts, nur um eines bitte Sie. Werden Sie sich klar darüber, was prozedural entschieden werden soll, will dann meinetwegen bolschewistisch. Was hätten sie überhaupt noch mehr zerstören können? Das Schlimmste aber ist die Vernichtung des Vertrauens in unserem Volk, die Beseitigung aller Hoffnungen und aller Zuversicht. In 13 Jahren ist es ihnen nicht gelungen, die in unserem Volk schlummernden Kräfte irgendwie zu mobilisieren. Im Gegenteil, in ihrer Angst vor dem Erwachen der Nation haben sie die Menschen gegeneinander ausgespielt, die Stadt gegen das Land, den Angestellten gegen den Beamten, den Handarbeiter gegen den Arbeiter der Stirne, den Bayern gegen den Preußen, den Katholiken gegen den Protestanten und so fort und umgekehrt. Über 14 Jahre sind vergangen, seit dem unseligen Tage, da von inneren und äußeren Versprechungen verblendet, das deutsche Volk der höchsten Güte unserer Vergangenheit, des Reiches, seiner Ehre und seiner Freiheit vergaß und dabei alles verlor. Seit diesen Tagen des Verrates hat der Allmächtige unserem Volk seinen Segen entzogen. Zwietracht und Hass hielten ihren Einzug. In dieser Bekümmernis sehen Millionen bester deutscher Männer und Frauen aus allen Lebensständen die Einheit der Nation dahinsinken und sich auflösen in ein Gewirr politisch egoistischer Meinungen, wirtschaftlicher Interessen und weltanschaulicher Gegensätze. Die nationale Regierung trifft ihre Maßnahmen unter keinem anderen Gesichtspunkt als dem, das deutsche Volk und insbesondere die Millionenmasse seiner arbeitenden Menschen vor namenlosem Elend zu bewahren. Gleichlaufend mit dieser politischen Entgiftung unseres öffentlichen Lebens wird die nationale Regierung eine durchgreifende moralische Sanierung an unserem Volkskörper vornehmen. Unser gesamtes Erziehungswesen, das Theater, der Film, Literatur, Presse, Rundfunk, sie werden als Mittel zu diesem Zwecke angesehen und demgemäß gewürdigt. Sie haben alle der Erhaltung der im Wesen unseres Volkstums liegenden ewigen Werte zu dienen.